Ethan, it's mommy. I wanted to make a quick video just to let you know how extremely proud I am of you. Actually, your entire family is proud of you. I wanted to commemorate this day because today you would be walking across the stage at 6 p.m. And due to the circumstances, you cannot do that. And so I just wanted to make this day as special as I could. But I wanted to make this video more so because I don't want you to forget. I don't want you to forget your walk, even though you're not walking. You were born on Friday the 13th. So people that were born around my age understand that there's like this negative connotation towards the whole concept of Friday the 13th. Like it's just bad luck. But I have to say, when you were born, I was like, what can I do? What can we keep them in there? Like, can we slow this down? I was so nervous about you being born on Friday the 13th. But when you were born, you were the sweetest, most gentle baby. And my fear of superstition absolutely went away. Okay. So in posts and things like that, if I talk about you, I always say that you're my good luck charm. So I just kind of want to walk you through your life, probably things that you may remember, may not remember, but just thinking about your journey makes me understand how God chose you for this particular walk, leading up to the pandemic. So you were a sickly kid. You were congested all the time. You had heart concerns. You had continuous ear infections. And I remember every time that you would get an ear infection, you would put your head between your legs. And I just found that so odd. I'm like, what is he doing? And every time you would do that, I would bring you to the doctor and they were like, oh, he has an ear infection. So I started like putting two and two together. So every time you put your head between your legs, I'm like, yeah, Ethan probably has an ear infection. But lo and behold, you did end up having your first little surgery and you had your adenoids removed and tubes put in your ear. And you had to get an IV and your vein blew. And the nurse was so upset. It wasn't the nurse, whoever it is that takes blood and puts IVs in her. She was just so sad. And you were like, it's okay. And then she was like, I'm gonna have to do it again. And so you just pulled out your other arm with just the strength and determination, knowing that you would get through it. So everything that you've been through, you have always had that tenacity and that drive to get through it, knowing that even at an early age, what won't kill you will make you stronger. So we move on to your daycare years. That is when you started to have like these weird moments where you were just lethargic. It was so many times that I would have to leave work to come to your daycare. It's more like a Mother's Day out program, and you were there just part-time. But it happened so frequently that your pediatrician was like, no, when he has an episode, I don't care where I am, I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number. So shout out to Dr. Jelpy, Gregory Jelpy. Here's my personal cell. You contact me whenever he has one of the episodes, because it seems like every time we made it to the doctor or got in the back to see Dr. Jelpy, you were okay. Like you snapped out of it, you were fine. So to this day, we don't know exactly what happened, but you were going back and forth to specialists, and your heart doctor at the time, he said, I never seen anything like this before. Because I can't find anything wrong, but I believe all of the symptoms that you're saying. So they went and did brain scans and things like that. And so when those test results came back, the doctor was like, I never seen a brain in a child that functions like this. Like, he has the brain of a 50-year-old. Go figure, huh? So those are some of the things that you've been through. And when we get to your elementary school years, one thing that stands out is actually two things that stand out. The first thing is that you broke your right arm. So that is the hand that you write with. That is your dominant hand. The doctor had gave you an excuse to have some days off, and you refused to take those days off. And we're like, me and Daddy were like, you can't write, Ethan. And he was like, I'm saying you were like, well, I can write with my left hand. And you were able to write just as well with your right hand with your left. Strange, I know. But you were able to do that. And to this day, you can write even hand with both your right and the left. Then you had muscle issues in one of your eyes. So you did have to have surgery to tighten up the muscle. You were in so much pain after surgery, and it breaks my heart every time I think about it. But I had to be strong for you because you're my baby. And let me pull it together. You said to me and your dad, you were like, I want to go to school. And we're like, Ethan, you can't see. And you looked at us with these glasses on. You couldn't even open your eyes that day. And you said, but I can hear. I'm just like, what? You can hear? Wow. You were in elementary school saying these things. So you were such a quiet and reserved kid. And a lot of your classmates, they were like, Miss Stewart, does Ethan talk? Like, he's just so good. He's so good. And I remember you winning the 5th grade DARE graduation essay, which means that you had to read it. You had some anxiety about that. But me and Daddy were there, and you stood up, and I swear it was like you were Barack Obama, because you had so much poise, and you weren't shy, and you were so eloquent, and you read that DARE report. Miss Cascio, your principal at the time, she was like, did you hear Ethan? Like, everybody was just so shocked. And then you move on from private school and transition to a magnet program. And I remember they were looking at your test scores, and that's how they would place you into classes. And they put you in all advanced classes. And you handled it. Even though that transition was extremely difficult for you, you handled it. And you did extremely well with meeting new friends, just finding your mark, and just being in a new environment, a larger environment. So that was pretty cool to watch. Then it's time to go to high school. But first I want to go back. I want you to understand that it is in the Bible how powerful the tongue is. You have been speaking greatness in your life your entire life. You would call yourself Awesome Ethan. That's hilarious. And then you said to me, I wonder what is better than awesome. We were like, you think about it. And you said, I know what it is. It's the awesomest. So you started calling yourself the awesomest Ethan. And we started calling you the awesomest Ethan, or strong man. That was your nickname. You nicknamed yourself. You will always speak greatness into yourself, and that has flourished. And I want you to always remember to speak positive in your life. That is what you have been doing. It is tried and true. You are who you say you are. So we move on to high school. It's time to transition from middle to high school. Ninth grade, 2016. Lo and behold, guess what happens? The Great Flood. So we went to a hotel, pretty much all of the Stewart side, and we were in one hotel for a minute, and we saw our house, our neighborhood, let's just say that, on TV. So for 2016, basically, our house was flooded, and we were out of our home for a year, and you didn't miss a beat. You did not miss a beat with not having your things, with seeing everything in your house gone, all your personal belongings gone. Like, you really weathered the storm. We had to, and you did it, making straight A's. So yeah, you would stand the uncertainty of it all, and you remain diligent. I wanted to mention too that you practiced dancing so much. All the time. You would just study Michael Jackson. You would study different dancers like Chris Brown, and you were just on top of it. You were on top of it until you got it down pat. Pretty much everything you've done in your life, you have been consistent with. You have practiced, you have mastered, and that's just who you are. Me and Daddy would talk all the time about us hearing noises like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And so we're just walking around trying to figure out, like, where's that noise coming from? Like, is somebody breaking into our house? And we would go in your room, and you have the cover over your head, and you are literally reading a book. You're reading your textbooks, or you are going over your test or questions that you have to have, or going over homework again. This is like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we would see that you wouldn't sleep at all. So if anybody else is watching this, take tips, because anything that you invest your time in, you will eventually prevail in that. And my son is a prime example. He won first place in the talent show. And this is a person who just tries and never gives up. So it's good that you're setting that example, Ethan, because you motivate us. You motivate mommy. And I don't want you to ever stop doing that. Always be persistent. Always go. So high school, you made the step team. You became co-captain. You were a Key Club member, African American Club. Got inducted into the National Honor Society. I don't know if I said Beta Club. Yeah. And then you did place first place in a talent show. Go figure. And beforehand, you had rhythm, but you really couldn't dance. But because you practiced so much, you became so good. And look at it. Look at that determination. First place, dancing. And I'm just super, super proud. So proud. Keep looking down because we have all of these notes. So 9th, 10th, 11th grade, you did it. Like, you conquered so many things. You got out of your shell. You weren't that shy Ethan anymore. Your friends started calling you Dr. E. Why? Because that was your name for yourself. Dr. E. That's what you had inscribed in your class ring. So you can have a reminder, so that you can have that motivation going in your head. And it is what it is. That's one of your, I think it's your YouTube channel's name too. But we get through all of those things to lead up to 12th grade, and you're taking these AP courses, and you're losing sleep, and you're helping your siblings with work, and you're being a good son. You're doing all these things. And right when you get almost to the finish line, when you should just really breathe and enjoy your high school moment, the coronavirus happens. So it's just one of those uncertain things that happens, just like the flood happened, just like your sicknesses happen. But just like you got through those other things and you made do and you made it, that too will stand for this situation. So you might not be walking today, but I just want you to understand your walk. And you did all of that, missing your prom, missing your senior breakfast, missing the accolades that you could have received from like the little awards programs and stuff. You missed all of those things, but you finished high school with a 4.0. Elementary school, you had straight A's. Middle school, you had straight A's, but you had your first C in middle school. And I think that was one of the things that humbled you a little bit and made you work even harder. When I'm looking at you like, I don't think this guy can work any harder. But yeah, you did. So anyway, I don't want you to forget this walk because you are making a decision to go to Xavier. And I'm so proud of you for choosing to go to an HBCU. And you're going to learn yourself even more there. You're going to have experiences and it's going to be a wonderful journey. And it may not always be an easy journey, but from the time you were born, life was a little bit difficult, but you didn't let it hold you down. You kept your faith. You worked hard. You studied while others were sleeping. You practiced when other people were ready to give up. Everything that you've done, you have worked hard to get where you are. And I just want to say that I'm super proud of you. And I'm not going to cry anymore. But I just want to say one more thing. The day that we surprised you with your car, we just wanted to see where your head was at when we were on our way to pick up your vehicle. You had no clue. We told you, well, Ethan, if we can't get you the car that we would like for you to have, would you be okay with it? You said, whatever it is that you guys get me, I will be appreciative of. You have 3 other kids besides me that you have to worry about, and I don't want to be a stress. That's what you said to us. And it's those pivotal moments, those certain conversations, certain things that comes out of people's mouth and you're just in awe. That was one of those things. Although you deserved the greatest and the grandest car because of your diligence and work ethic and just being a good person, just being a good kid, trying to follow directions, follow the rules. You were still thinking about us and cool with taking whatever. So we're just super proud. And I just wanted to make this video. And mommy loves you. We all do. We're all super proud of you, inspired by you. And I just cannot wait to see what your future holds. Because I do remember when you were in elementary school, Miss Trisha Beard, she had this assignment for you guys to do. You had to put your best friends on it. You had to put what you wanted to be when you grow up. And you, my son, you drew a stick man and you wrote doctor. Now, had you not put doctor above it, I would not have known what that was. But you drew a stick man and you said that you're going to be a doctor. You said it and I believe it. Mommy loves you. Keep positive affirmations going. You have our back. You have our support. But most of all, you have God. We love you. Class of 2020.